Hello, class. We're back again, working with place value, and today we're going to be looking at this learning target. It's 5.NBT.2. I can explain how the decimal moves the value, the place value, when multiplying, and today we're going to add to that, dividing by 10, 100, and 1,000. You're smart, you can do this. Okay? I'm going to pick a number out. This number is 7,865 and 4/10. Decimal points here, remember? Ones place, tenths place. And what I'm going to do is divide this number by 10. How do you say that? 10 what? 10 to the second power, 10 raised to the second power, or 10 squared. Okay? And can you tell me what 10 squared is worth? What's the value of that? Remember how we did that? All you do is look at the exponent and the 2. The exponent tells you how many zeros are going to be in that number with a 1 in front, okay? So there are going to be 2 zeros, a 1 in front, so that 10 squared is equal to 100 because it means 2 10s multiplied. 10 times 10 is 100, okay? So, but instead of multiplying this, or dividing this out, instead of dividing this, we're just going to shift the digits within that number according to the exponent. If the exponent's 2, then we're going to shift the digits in this number 2 places. Now, when we divide, we make this number smaller, so we're going to shift them to the right. That's the only way you can make this number smaller, is by shifting to the right, okay? Dividing. We're going to move it 2 places, okay? The 4 moves here. The 5 moves here. The 6 moves here. And keep in mind, when you move 2 places, don't count your starting spot as a place. It's not. Okay, don't do that. It's a common mistake. You're starting here, and then 1, 2 to here. And then move this. So what you get is 78,000 78 and 654 thousandths. 78 and 654 thousandths after you divide. Okay? It's really that simple. Okay, now let's try another one. Let's try this. Let's take a smaller number. 468. 468. Now, where on this chart does 468 go? What place is the 8 in? The 8's in the ones place, right? It's in the ones place. So where on this chart is the ones place? Yeah, the ones place is always in front of the decimal point, to the left. So this is how you write 468. Now, if there is no decimal point here, that's where it would go if we wanted to use it. If we wanted to make it money, $468, I could write it that way. Or I could write it with a decimal point, that way. They're both 468. But if I choose not to use the decimal point, we have to keep in mind, it's still there, it's just hidden, okay? Now, I'm going to move this, I'm going to divide this by 10 to the 3rd power. So how far do I move the decimal point? Look at the exponent, move it 3 places. You go ahead and do that and see what number you come up with. Pause this and we'll check later. Okay. Now that you're back, let's see if you're correct. Which way are you going to move the decimal point? To the right, because you're dividing. And how far? 3 places because of the exponent. It tells you 3. Okay? So let's move this 3. 1, 2, 3. The 6 moves 3. Let's erase these as we go. 1, 2, 3. And the 4 goes 3 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And that's what you've got. Now, normally, if you have a number like this and there's nothing on this left-hand side of the decimal point, but you have a part of a number behind the decimal point, you have the entire number, this time behind the decimal point, you normally put a placeholder in front, kind of like to balance both sides of the decimal point when you have something less than 1. There we go. And we call that 468 thousandths. Is that what you got? If that's what you got, you did a great job. Give yourself a hand.